Hey, welcome back, everybody. Thank you again for joining me. Matthew, Watty's channel. Today it is Wednesday, January the 3rd. So, a couple days ago, just kind of give you a little quick recap, I did post my first video of a saga of different military service videos that I made. So, Monday was the 1st. So, I posted that video Monday morning. I'm probably going to post this video Thursday morning. And, like I said, guys, in that video, I probably stayed down here and I made 5 different videos. Most of them hover between around 20 to 35 minutes. So, I got to be honest, guys. For those that haven't seen the wrestling or the military service video, that video plus all the other videos I've made so far, there's going to be a lot of swearing in those videos. Just gotta be open and honest about that. What can I say? U.S. Army really brings out the best in me. So there's gonna be a lot of cursing in those videos. So if that's not something you want to listen to, definitely you might want to disregard those videos. So far, it doesn't look like that video has done anything as far as viewer count is concerned. It's not doing any better than any of my other videos, any of my collection type videos or anything like that. So it's nothing that's gonna really get me recognized. Oddly enough, with the inclusion of that video, I did pick up 4 new subscribers, and to those new subscribers, I just want to say welcome. Thank you for joining the Watty family of sorts. So I'm sure eBay, or not eBay, YouTube has their ability to go in, click on each video and see if you've got new subscribers from that video. I'm just curious if that Army video is really the one that brought in the new subs, or if that's just someone who's seen previous videos of mine and subscribed off of those. But it's kind of weird. When I started making the Army videos, the intention was kind of do like a negative and positive aspect of military life and whatnot. Talk about the benefits, talk about livelihood, the toll it takes on the family. And after 5 videos, I kind of want to say, Dear Diary. That's exactly what it's turned into. It went from being a formative or informative, segment, and it became like my personal journal of hell and torment type of deal. A number of those videos that I made, I gotta be honest, after filming them, I was really saddened. I really hit some tough spots to talk about. So, again, I always say that these channels are supposed to be fun and whatnot. So when you start talking real talk about stuff like that, things that truly matters in life, that stuff gets hard. But hopefully, you guys can live with the cursing, and those videos will, I don't know, tell you something about a little bit of the inside thoughts of a soldier. But so today, this is probably going to be a long video. I'm not going to spend so much time on every single aspect of what I acquired, but because of the sheer quantity that I purchased, it's going to be a longer video. And so for weeks I've been talking about, or last couple weeks I've been talking about this new toy line that I decided to get into. And it's kind of sad because in the latter half of 2021, I had purchased a ton of these figures. I really didn't care about the figures themselves. I just wanted the wrestling ring that was part of that bundle. And the figures themselves, as I said, they did absolutely nothing for me. I had no attachment to them whatsoever. From childhood, I said it before, we never had anything from Series 3, right? Hasbro Series 3, we had a ton from Series 1 and 2, and nothing from Series 3. Series 4, Undertaker, British Bulldog, Bret Hart. To the best of my knowledge, I never knew of any other Hasbro figure that came out after that. So, those were probably, in my opinion, the last figures that were ever created by Hasbro, right? And of course, back in the day, you don't know that they're made by Hasbro. You don't call them Hasbros. The first time I started referring to them by their name is as a collector. So even though I was still watching wrestling, deep into the latter half of the 90s, I think around 98 is when I stopped. Definitely by 99. But I never knew about any of these different toy lines as a kid. And really, would it have impacted me? I don't think so. Because the 1990s were basically all Power Ranger obsessed. Even though it was never something I played with as a kid. It was just something I wanted for collection purposes as a fan. So, you look at the 1980s with LJNs. You're mostly looking at the 8-inch figures. Ends in 89. In 1990, these 4-inch plastic figures with these unique working action features are introduced as the replacement for LJN, the WWF Hasbro, 1990 through 1994. The next saga, or the next set of wave of figures that were introduced, or the figures that people are introduced to or they think about, are the 1996 Jakks Pacific bone crunching action feature figures. And to be honest, that's incorrect. In 1995, a company called JusToys released their own WWF wrestling action figures. So today, what's a good one? We are going to be talking about these guys right here. So I think JusToys was from like 95 to 2001, if I read correctly. And like I said, I had a ton of these. I sold them as bundles, and $25 here, $25 there. Not a whole lot of money, but I did not really covet these at all. But you actually think about the JusToys Bendems. Again, I didn't realize this stuff as a kid. It's not until later on in life when I start collecting all these lines that they really start to mean a little bit more. JusToys created your bendable Incredible Hulk figure from Marvel. They created the Harry and the Hendersons Bigfoot. Okay, JusToys created your WCW bendable figures, and these really were the figures that replaced Hasbro. Hasbro ended in 94, JusToys came out in 95. These were your official replacements, but again, people go with the bone crunching figures as the next series. Because I didn't have these as a kid, and I really didn't care about these, I don't even think I even had any LJN Bendies at the time, and if I did, it was very few. So, obviously getting that collection complete, and then coming across these again, I just kind of felt like I had to go for them. They were 4-inch figures, so they bled in beautifully with your Hasbro figures. So the size difference really helps, or the size similarities helps. And for those kids who grew up in the 80s with LJNs and had the 4-inch bendies, they're bigger, they're bulkier, they're thicker rubber than the bendies, but it's something to add to that line. I may have sold the original 30 or so figures I had for pennies, but luckily these things, even carded, are not the most expensive things in the world. You are going to run into a few here and there that are like $30 plus, but luckily you don't have to go through a ton of them. So, I don't have every figure, of course, even though I started collecting on Christmas Day. Whether it's insomnia, excitement for Christmas Day, Christmas morning, I just could not sleep. It was like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I'm on my cell phone scrolling through eBay, and I'm coming across all of these Bendems figures. And the more I scroll, the more that I find, and I'm like, bid, offer. So, in the last week or so, I've been getting a ton of these figures in, and I think I have a few more doing, but it's Wednesday. I think we're good to move on to where we're at. So I do like most of these cards because they do give you a series number on them, which is awesome. But I'm going to start with the figures that don't have any series number on them because I'm thinking maybe they're series 1. When I come back in later on in the year and I do a more thorough review series by series, I'll be able to break it down more thoroughly for you guys. But assuming that these were series 1, we start off with Diesel, which is pretty friggin' awesome because when you actually think about it, Diesel was a character that should have had a figure in the WWF line, didn't. Was supposed to be in the original Series 12 unreleased Hasbro. That never happened. So I used to think that when Mattel Retros came out with Series 10 Diesel, that was finally the Diesel that they wanted from Hasbro era. But you really didn't have to wait that long, because you actually did get a Diesel soon thereafter. It may not have been the Hasbro style figure that everybody wanted, but it was still a 4-inch character that you could have easily used with your Hasbros if necessary. Card backing is awesome. I always love when they give you the list or the lineup of that particular series. And, yes I do. So I got a couple of these guys. I'll use this one because he's in better shape. So, most of these figures, when I look at them, the arms are straight down. Some of them are so freaking hard, you can't even move them. Others, you can actually bend them into place. Not the greatest posing ever. But, I mean, they're at least movable, you know? You want to do a clothesline, bam, you got the arm right out. You want it more inward for like a power slam, it works. Because they're rubber, you can move the arms to where you want them. So that is a huge positive with these figures. And unlike, you know, your Mattel and your Jakks Pacific, where all these legs and ankles twist, and when you're standing them up, you know, the legs go shooting everywhere. Nah, forget that. These are pretty solid. And if you think about like these AWA Remco stands behind me from David Garland, and the ones I have over here for all the Thumb Wrestlers and all the Bendies, I said I was never going to buy from him because of that stupid advertisement, but I might have to pick up some more just for these guys. Now, most of what I have is carded, but I do have a number of figures that are loose that, and I think would look great on display. So, following Diesel, I don't have the carded figure, but I did buy one. But next up is Bret Hart. Now you look at this one, and this is you could tell this has just been a played with figure like crazy, because his rubber moves up and down so easily. When you look at the other figures, you really got to put some pressure into moving their bodies around. Great thing is you don't see the wire or anything, so the rubber's not tearing. And, you know, even though the arms feel, you know, weaker, like I said, it feels like it's actually been played with. You know, it just shows you how far you can extend those arms and whatnot. But generally, when I pose these guys, the arms are probably going to remain to their sides, so. And this right here, this is like your Series 8 Bret Hart with pink on top, so that's pretty awesome. Bret Hart was an awesome figure. Next up on the line, as we're looking at it, is Lex Luger. And I could have sworn I had a carded Lex Luger, but nothing right here. Maybe I'm going to get him in the mail. But I could have sworn I purchased the carded figure. So again, here's another, you know, Series 12 Hasbro unreleased figure that should have been made. The All-American Lex Luger. So already 2 figures in this lot immediately were created for their counterpart that was supposed to happen in Hasbro. Alright, next up we got Razor Ramon. Now, Razor Ramon to me is probably one of the better figures here. Mostly I just like, you know, the display of his gold chain and whatnot. But, you know, another bulky figure, and I have a couple of these guys. Got the rings, necklace built in there beautifully. Just a really sharp looking figure all around. Razor Ramon, and then the last one, I don't know, I think either Bret Hart or possibly Doink the Clown on card are probably my 2 favorites from this line. Maybe you could throw in Yokozuna for a top 3. But yeah, all in all, I think among all of the Doink figures, because the Hasbro Series 9 with the you know, the makeshift hair and everything, that's unique. I don't know. That one would probably go down as my all-time favorite Doink figure, but just kind of looking at this, with the bulkiness and the look, the layout of the color scheme and everything, this might very well be the best Doink figure that they've ever made. And that includes the Jakks Classic Superstars figures as well. Or your Mattel Wrestling Superstars. I haven't gotten that Doink yet, but that is one I'm definitely looking forward to. Alright, so that is a line of figures that did not have a series number. These two do not have a series number. So I don't have, or do I? Do I have a loose one? I do not. I'm pretty sure I bought this recently, but there is going to be an Undertaker in this series. So we're going to go with X-Pac. X-Pac or 123 Kid. I guess that's still 123 Kid. When I think 123 Kid, it's always like blue tights. So when I see them in red, whatever. But, yep, they do have 123 Kid on the back of the card as well, so that's good. Again, another one of those better looking figures. I don't have this one loose, but he's one of those figures I'm probably going to end up getting loose anyways. Next up is the British Bulldog. And for some reason, I bought this guy twice, so I'm probably going to open up one of these and display the other one. That way I don't have to go out and buy another one. One of these figures loose. And I really like these little trading cards or whatever they are on the bottom here. Thing is, you take out the trading card and it's like right behind here, so you can easily slide out the figure. You don't have to worry about breaking the bubble. So you got to ask yourself, if you plan on resealing these in the future, is it going to be better to reseal from the back or reseal from the plastic up front? You can just push in and tear out. So I think it'd just be easier to go through the back side. And that way you're not really damaging the front of the card. But British Bulldog is a solid one. Last one up is Mabel. And this is another one of those figures I could have sworn I had duplicates of, but I probably don't. Very solid figure. You know how much I love the bulky characters, so that's pretty awesome. So I'm looking at, like, every time I get one of these cards and I see the tags in the top, they're always like $2.99 or something. I'm like $2 or $3 for these figures back in the day. And, back in the day is, well, shoot, 30 years ago, so that's insane. I don't even know, like, if I were a kid and I saw these, would I even be interested, even at $3 a pop? So, I don't know. So that's what I have for that series. And then we get into, I don't have one or two, or if those were one or two, I don't know. This is series 3. And first one is, trying to see if I have loose figures, because I don't have them all on card. And I don't. But the first one would have been Ahmed Johnson. He will be picked up at some point. Next up is Shawn Michaels. This was kind of frustrating about this particular figure. I won this guy on auction for like $5. It's like a $4.99 starting bid, and nobody else bid, and I won it. And it's been up for like several days, and then all of a sudden, he tried to cancel the order, saying it was damaged. I know the truth. I mean, come on, dude. You didn't sell for what you thought you would. Simple enough. But then eBay comes back. It says eBay, or the cancellation failed. So I'm like, what the heck? Am I getting the figure or not? Since then, I've actually purchased this guy probably 2 other times. Probably for like $10. One probably for like $15 or something. So if I might end up with like 2 or 3 of these guys on card, and that's kind of be a pain in the neck. But here's another guy that you just know has always been played with, because his arms are just so easily movable. And maybe it has something to do with the fact that because he's skinnier than other figures, that just makes the rubber easier to move. But all in all, from what I've seen, most of these guys, the rubber is like super tight. And when you get like guys like Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, the rubber is like, it's like moving cotton candy or something. It's weightless. There's like no pressure whatsoever when exerting force on these arms to expand them. So Shawn Michaels is another good one. Next one up is Goldust. Here is a third character. Well, no, because he wasn't actually part of that 95 unreleased Series 12 Hasbro, but he should have been, man. I mean, how do you not have Goldust in the Hasbro line? But so far, continuing on with guys like the American Lex Luger, like Diesel, getting guys like Goldust, who I always felt like should have been made in line. And, you know, his little trading card looks pretty solid. And I do have another loose figure of this guy. I gotta be honest, Goldust is like one of the creepiest looks of these figures. I absolutely love that. Yeah, there probably are a number of these figures that I really do want to display on those stands. You know, Yokozuna being one. Doink the Clown, definitely. Goldust. I mean, these are some amazing pieces. I got a loose Vader over here. And a Kane. So, come on. I gotta at least get some of these guys on stands looking good. Alright, so the last one from Series 3 is the big man himself, Yokozuna. And just look at this trading card. Look at that belly. That is freaking phenomenal. That is absolutely killer. I was actually bidding on this wrestling ring, and I think it sold for like $18 or something. Not expensive. I just, I don't know. Maybe if it was like in box, I would have gone up to like $100 or something for it. But because it was just a plain loose figure, I didn't want to spend all that. So with Yokozuna, when I purchased those bundle of figures with the ring, this was like the only figure that I kept. One, because I was putting like these bundles of like 6 figures in one bundle, another 6 in another bundle, etc. And, you know, he was a leftover. That's one reason. 2, he's Yokozuna. How often do you get a Yokozuna figure? So I'm like, heck yeah, I gotta hold on to this one at least. So it does show that at least certain characters, even if you don't necessarily like the line, at least the characters themselves look pretty sharp. Or you care about the characters, so. Yokozuna. And that you could tell because he's still tagged. Next on, we move on to Series 4. And another big man, Vader. And I think his was like the first bio card or trading card that I really looked at and thought, what the heck? Why is Vader so freaking muscular? I mean, even though they got him as a big, hefty, husky guy, they've got him built like a dump truck, right? So it's like, who was it? Sagu? No. I'm trying to think. It wasn't, I mean, it could be Honda. You could be thinking about Honda from like Street Fighter. Where, yeah, he's got that huge stomach, but his chest and even stomach looked like it had muscles on it and big, thick arms and everything, right? And that kind of like what Vader reminds me of. He kind of looks like Honda from Street Fighter. And like I said, his individual figure is probably one of maybe 5 or 10 from this line that are absolute must-haves. You know, good bulk to it. One of my most favorite characters of all time. You know, guy who goes to the top rope. I mean, this guy's got like 400 plus pounds, and he's doing backflips off the top rope. And he's not killing people while doing it, so this man was a true athlete, and it's a darn shame he never got the appreciation in WWF the way he should have. Next up, we've got Sunny. What I like about this figure is on the backside, she reminds me of April O'Neil from the 1990s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. So that's pretty rocking. I gotta be honest. I mean, when it comes to like female wrestlers, I know very little about any of the wrestlers. Obviously, the one I'm most gravitated towards is China. Why? Because freaking China is awesome in every way. I mean, she's like another little doll figure. I mean, all of the female wrestlers are made like dolls, and I hate that. Next up is Mark Marrow. And I'm assuming that this guy is the same one. So, Mark Marrow. And it has writing on the back of his... I don't know what the heck that even says. But a good looking figure nonetheless. Mark Marrow and... why can't I remember his name? From WCW, original San Francisco. It's killing me. I can't remember. I hate the way my mind works. But You guys know who I mean, I'm sure. You at least know the Mark Merrill character, so. Mark Merrill. And then last one we look at is Psycho Sid. To me, I kind of prefer Sid Vicious to the Psycho Sid, but I mean, to me, at least put him back in black for Psycho Sid and leave him as Sid Justice with the blue, you know. So, pretty cool trading card. Another great one. Alright, so that was Series 4. Series 5 continues on with Mankind. Now, this is a really solid one right here. You know, regardless of which one he takes on, Dude Love, I knew nothing about. Mick Foley, sure, he's going by his regular name, not a big deal. What else was there? There's at least one other major gimmick that I can't think of, but Mankind, this is it for me. This is it, the psychotic Mankind. So Mankind and like Bob Backlund, when Bob Backlund went crazy. I mean, as far as like real psychotic guys, yeah, Sid Justice had that look in his eye that made him give that whole insane look, but to me, I don't think anybody could have done justice the way that Bob Backlund or Mankind. I don't think anyone could have played crazy better than those guys. And Mick Foley in of itself is a nut job. I mean, this man jumps from rafters into like pits of barbed wire and and broken ladders and broken tables. I'm like, this guy is insane. But all for the benefit of the fans, I guess. Next one up is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Again, we are still in Series 5. A relatively simple figure. And I got a couple of these guys. Again, Stone Cold, relatively simple. I mean, we're hovering around 30 minutes, guys, so I'm trying to go through these a little bit faster now because we still got plenty to look through. And this is Farouk. I believe Farouk was just Ron Simmons. And Nation of Domination, I mean, I don't know about this. Do I like the look? Yeah, I mean, Farouk has a really good look to it. I like it. Of course, again, when I think about him, all I can think about is freaking that Ron Simmons Galoob. So it's a shame when you can't be a fan of someone just for the simple fact that you hate their darn toy. Rocky Maivia. Yeah, Maivia. I don't know how to pronounce his name, whatever. We'll call him Rocky. This one's kind of damaged. No trading card in the back. Maybe I knew that when I first bid on it. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I needed it for Series 5, so at least I have something. Moving on to Series 6, as we start off with Animal. So I have Animal. I don't have Hawk, not yet. I purchased the Dark Undertaker, the ghouly, ghostly Undertaker that you see at the end. So I don't have those two right now. The first one we saw, or first one is Hunter Hearst Helmsley. You know, to be honest, I like Hunter Hearst Helmsley. I did not like it when they just simply referred to him as Triple H. Later on when they called him the Game, like, what the hell? What's the Game? I mean, all these other stupid names, forget it. Triple H, because you're just taking it fine. Triple H, I'll live with that, yeah. Because even I call him Triple H all the time, because you don't have time to sit there and say out his full name. But Hunter Hearst Helmsley, to me, yeah, during that time period, makes a lot of sense. Series 7 is the Nation of Domination Crush. I always talk about the 3 faces of Crush. It really should be the 4 faces. Everything from his Demolition character to his Hawaii Kona Crush version, his evil bad guy Crush, or, you know, his prison style Crush. You know, whatever works best for you. Do I have a loose Crush? I thought I did. I apparently do not. So that's Crush. Next guy up is Ken Shamrock. Again, not anybody I grew up watching, so really didn't care. So if this was Ken Shamrock in 1995 or 1998 or something like that, so he probably was wrestling at a time when I was still watching wrestling. If you say one series per year, and we're up to series 7, which I'm sure it wasn't one a year. I'm sure there were plenty out there that had multiple releases in a year. I don't have the Patriot, so the last one we're going to look at is Owen Hart. Again, as far as these Bendems, I think Owen Hart is a must-have. And that's the Patriot. If you guys need a up-close and personal look at that one. Because I really don't have any space down here, I have nowhere to display these figures. I might have to put them upstairs, but that's probably not going to happen. So I'm end up going to probably display them on the floor, which is going to look really crappy. I don't like that, but pretty much used up all the wall space I can. That's alright, so that was Series 7. I don't see anything from Series 8. Series 9. We'll start off with this guy from the back. So another 1, 2, 3 kid, but this is X-Pac related. 1, 2, 3 kid. So again, you're still at Series 9 on here, even with the different carding. And what's different about this is instead of having one row of characters, you got 2 rows. So my question is the rest of these guys part of Series 9? I don't have all of them carded, so I don't know. So X-Pac is on the bottom, followed by the guy in green. And who the heck is this? This is Brian Christopher. Well, that explains why I have no idea who this is. I don't know who Brian Christopher is. Yep, and that's him right there. So we're going to go from here this way. Brian Christopher. And next up is, looks like Sable. Yep. Again, when they make the female wrestlers, just toothpicks, man. But they look nice on the card, so that's something. And you know that because they're so small, these bubbles are never going to break. So that's pretty cool. Next one up is Cactus Jack, and that's the other one I was missing. I don't know how I forgot Cactus Jack. I mean, outside of Mankind, it's probably like his most famous gimmick. Yeah, I had a Cactus Jack once upon a time and I sold it, but I don't have that right now. And I don't have China up top. I had one before, but I sold that. And this was a Kane. I guess it comes from the same line. So in Series 9, they upgraded to 8 characters. And I only have 4 out of the 8, so. Alright. Let me see if I go through these really quickly. Series 11. So I don't have Series 10 or Series 8. Series 11, we're going to start off with another one of your Stone Cold Steve Austin figures. Doesn't really look any different than the one we looked at previously. So that was Stone Cold. Here's one of Vince McMahon. So I'm looking on the back of this card. I don't even see Steve Austin back here. So how is he like a Series 11 release if he's not even on the back of the card? Yeah. But that is Vince McMahon. And right next to Vince McMahon is Al Snow. And do I have any other loose guys up there? Nope, I think that's pretty much it. I didn't show off that Christopher figure earlier, loose, but that's about it. On the back of this card, they also have the Godfather. So that's another one. And I think that's all I have for that section. Alright, that should be all of those carded figures. Where did I get those from? I got one more batch. At first, I thought this one may have been like a modern ringside collectibles, but no, I think this is falls in the same time frame. And this is called Powerhouse, a 7-piece set. So it basically gives you a lot of the characters we already have. Psycho Sid, Sonny, I think that is. Sonny, Triple H, Yokozuna, Goldust, Ahmed Johnson. And they include a Paul Bearer figure, which is pretty awesome. In the back here, you get the chance to buy your wrestling ring. And it shows you a little storage on the bottom of the ring. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I mean, I would really love to display these all together. But I just do not have the space, wall space or anywhere to put them. So they're probably going to be sitting on the ground, leaning up against a shelf or something. There are other bendies, bendables, bendems, however you want to describe them, that I purchased. A ton more, but they're not JusToys. They're from Ringside exclusive. So I'm going to probably show those at another time. I'm going to make that another video in of itself. So, yeah, I was expecting a long video. Hopefully it didn't take as long as you guys would have hoped. But, guys, thank you, as always, thank you so much for watching. Your viewership does mean the world to me. I can't, say that enough. And that is it for now. I guess at this point, the next video I'm going to post is going to be that continuation of the Army Saga that I started every Monday. And like I say, with each passing video, I just think things keep getting darker and darker. You could see a lot more anger come out of me. It stopped being a discussion of the life of a soldier and started being, I don't know. It feels like it's a diary or something, man. Like I'm explaining my daily events or something. At times, I feel like I may have gone overboard. It's okay. You guys will see what I mean as I post the videos when time comes. But if I decide not to post the videos because I felt like they're too much of a detriment to my channel, then that's a different story. But for now, they're still going to be scheduled for every Monday. But guys, that's it for now. Thank you again for watching. Leave a comment if you want to. I will respond as quickly as I can. Goodbye, everybody.